Hi everyone, today's video is on essentials to carry while you're out on your bike. The great thing about being cyclists is that you get to go out and see the world, but we also want to be self-sufficient as cyclists. In case anything happens while we're out, we get a puncture or anything else. So look at all this kit we need to take with us. It's an awful lot. And how are we going to fit that into our little jersey pockets? Well, let's go through the essential items and how you can pack it all up small to take with you. A mini pump is the most essential tool that you will need so that you can pump up your inner tubes when you get a puncture. I've actually got one that attaches to my frame here with the bottle cages. Very handy, so you don't have to take up pocket space carrying one of those. A saddlebag is the best way to carry essentials with you. You can put this onto the back of your saddle. And then it's out the way until you need it on a ride. You can get different sizes of saddlebags. However, if you're looking at large ones, then these can interfere with how you pedal. So you might want to consider something like a frame bag, or with time trial bikes, sometimes you get a storage box you can put your essential items in. Okay, so the essential items to put in our saddlebag are 2 inner tubes. I always carry 2 of these in case you have a puncture, repair it with one and then have a second puncture out on the ride. Even if you're running tubeless tyres, it is worth carrying one of these in case the sealant doesn't hold. You can stick one of these in your tyre and you're good to go. So put these in. Next up we have tyre levers. Carry 2 of these with you. If you can't get your tyre off just by hand, these are a great tool so you can get your tyre off and change the inner tube. Next up is a multi-tool, very handy for making adjustments while you're out riding. I would recommend getting one with a chain tool on it in case you have any problems with your chain. I don't have one on my multi-tool, so I've got one of these little portable chain tools that I can take apart and that will fit into my saddlebag. Lastly, as an essential item in your saddlebag is a little patch kit. Very small, but very handy. If suddenly you're out of inner tubes, you can patch up one of your inner tubes and it will get you home. They all pack up nicely into our saddlebag. Ready to go. Okay, so what do we take with us in our jersey pockets? Well, I've always got my phone with me in case you need to ring someone to come pick you up or for an emergency services. It's also good for Google Maps. If you get lost, you can look at where you're going, hopefully if you have signal. In here, I've also got my bank card and some ID with me and perhaps some cash with me as well. It's always good to carry ID in case the worst were to happen. You can also get some bracelets which will carry some of your medical information on as well as your ID. And then cash or your card is good for your cafe stop or if you need to get a taxi home. Next up, I've got my house keys. Keep these to a minimum, so just take in the bare minimum keys that you need and try and put those in a pocket which isn't going to scratch your phone and that you're not accessing all the time to get things like food out, so you don't accidentally pull your keys out and drop them halfway around your ride. Okay, the next thing I've got is this little mini first aid kit that I carry with me, which has things like antiseptic wipes or some plasters. In case you were to have a crash, you can quickly patch yourself up to get yourself home. I've also got a mini bike lock with me. When I stop at a cafe, I like to just lock my bike up to something so it's that little bit more secure while you're going in to get your food and drink. I've got a mini bike light here with me. I've always got a rear light on my bike, even in the brightest of days. It just gives you that little bit of added visibility to road users when you're going under the trees into the shade, for example. And if the weather was to turn from our nice bright hot day into a cloudy cold day, then you've got your rear light flashing. But always good to carry a mini light with you as well. In the UK, we have varied weather conditions here. So it could be really sunny and bright in the morning when you head out, but then the weather can turn, it can get cloudy, it could start raining. So getting a nice rain jacket like this, which is small, it can scrunch up, go into your jersey pockets, It's always handy to carry, even when you think it's a nice bright sunny day, so that you're prepared if the weather were to turn. This can fit into your jersey pocket quite easily. You can also consider something like arm warmers in case it gets cold a bit later. These are really handy because they literally roll up over your arms and they'll keep you that much warmer. Okay, and then lastly, I've talked about this in another video I've done, but always make sure you've got enough food to last you for the distance of ride that you're doing, and you've got enough drink. You can obviously stop and top this up as you go. Okay, some bonus kit to consider with your saddlebag is you might want to fit in a CO2 canister so that you can get your tyres inflated quickly. I always carry a pair of gloves so that you don't get your hands messy when you need to adjust something like your chain on your bike, which has got a bit of oil on it. Very small, you can fit that in your bag, put those on so you don't get your hands dirty when you're making adjustments out on the road. The other thing I carry is a little quick link for my chain. If I was to snap my chain while I'm out on my ride, I can put it back together with one of these and get myself home. Okay, another item that I like to carry is some electrical tape. Now this is a little bit big to carry around with you, but a great tip is to wrap some of this around your seat post, either at the top here, or you could even mark out the height of your seat post using electrical tape, and then you can pull that off if you ever need some. It's great for making quick repairs or stopping things rattling around while you're riding. If you're lucky enough to have some deep section wheels on your bike, make sure you carry a valve extender with you so you can put that onto your inner tubes and fit that to your deep section wheels. And so for my last bonus tip, we'll talk about one of the worst possible punctures you can get, and that's where you rip the tyre and have a big hole. When you try and put a new inner tube in, it's just going to poke out that hole and puncture again. So if you've got a gel wrapper that you've eaten while you're out on the ride, you can sandwich this between the inner tube and the hole in the tyre, and that will allow you to pump up the inner tube. Or some people cut out a little section from their old tyres and they have this in their saddlebag, so you can put that in between the inner tube and the hole in the tyre, and that will get you home. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video, and that's given you some good ideas on what to carry with you while you're out on your bike. If there's anything I've missed off, please leave a comment down below and let me know. Please like and subscribe to see more videos like this. And if you click up here, you can see my video on what to eat while you're out on a long bike ride. Thank you very much and see you soon.